Good evening, everyone. I am Councillor Laura Binks, Mayor of Strathbogie Shire Council. I would like to welcome you to this extraordinary council meeting of the 2nd of May 2023. We acknowledge that the traditional custodians of the places we live, work and play, we recognise and respect the enduring relationship that they have with their lands and waters, and we pay respects to elders past, present and future. Today, we're meeting on the lands of the Taungurung people of the Eastern Kulin Nation, whose sovereignty here has never been ceded. We welcome people to our public gallery and also to those viewing this meeting through our live stream via our website. This meeting is being held in accordance with Strathbogie Shire's governance rules. If we have any technical difficulties during today's meeting, which means we are unable to continue streaming live to the public, we will continue the meeting given that the public gallery is open. Voting by councillors at tonight's meeting will be held by a show of hands. If a councillor or officer has a conflict of interest in a matter, they will be asked to leave the meeting and no discussion on the matter will commence until we are sure that they have done so. The person will then be contacted to rejoin the meeting after the matter has been considered and the vote concluded. C. Solomon, are there any apologies for tonight's meeting?
Thank you, and through you, Mayor. Yes, we have apologies from Councillor Sally Hayes-Burke and from Dawn Bray, Director of People and Governance. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO Solomon. Councillors, are there any disclosures of conflicts of interest to be made under Rule 94 of the Governance Rules and Division 2 of the Local Government Act 2020? Councillor Hourigan?
Yes, please. Thanks, Mayor. Declare a material conflict of interest, please, in Council Agenda Item 5.4.1.
Thank you. And that was a direct because of...
A material interest. I think the agenda speaks for itself. I'm the business owner. Yeah,
thank you. Thanks, Councillor Hourigan. Okay, councillors, we shall move to, if there's no other conflicts of interest, no. We'll move to page 1 of our agenda tonight, item 5.4.1, and Councillor Hourigan is leaving the room. I can confirm that Councillor Hourigan has left the room at 6:03 p.m. 5.4.1, consideration of Nagambie and Euroa Caravan Park line items for the draft 2023 to 2024 Strathbogie Shire Council budget. Our Chief Financial Officer, Satrasinga, may we have a summary of this report, please?
Thank you, and through you, Mayor. In accordance with the requirement of the Section 94 of the Local Government Act 2020, Council has prepared the budget for the financial year ending 30th June 2024. The draft budget has been developed in accordance with the 2020 Act, Financial Management Principles, and in accordance with the Section 96.1A. There are income expense line items and within the draft budget related to the caravan parks in Nagambie and Euroa, in accordance with the terms and conditions outlined in existing lease arrangements. A lease for the Euroa Caravan Parks was transferred to the current lessee, Lily and Proprietary Limited, by way of Council resolution on 21st February 2017. Councillor Hourigan is the director of this company, as declared in her March 2023 personal interest declaration form. As Councillor Hourigan has a material interest in these budget line items, it has been necessary to separate out this line item in the draft budget so that Councillor Hourigan can participate in the broader draft budget discussions without breaching the conflict of interest provision of the Local Government Act 2020. Given that the terms of the lease contain terms and conditions that has been previously considered by the Council in accordance in a confidential item, details as to how income to be calculated is outlined in a confidential attachment. This report seeks approval for the inclusion of the related line items in the draft budget which totaled $93,600 in income, $31,200 in operating expenses, and $62,400 in capital works, which will then be placed in the public exhibition for a period of 28 days. There is a recommendation on page 1 of this tonight's agenda for council consideration. I present report to the council for discussion.
Thank you, Chief Financial Officer. Councillors, are there any questions of clarification on this item from the officer? No? Okay, councillors, can I have a motion, please, and can you state what your motion is? Councillor Murray.
Thank you, Mayor. Can I move the officer recommendation on page 1 of the agenda, please?
Thank you, Councillor Murray. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Andrews. Thank you, Councillor Andrews. Did you want to speak to the motion, Councillor Murray?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
Councillor Andrews? No. Any other councillor wish to speak to the motion? No. Okay, councillors, I shall put the motion to a vote. Can I see a show of hands? All those in favour and against? And I declare that carried. Councillors, can we ask for Councillor Hourigan to rejoin the meeting, please? And I can confirm that Councillor Hourigan has rejoined the meeting at 6:12 p.m. We now move to item 2 on the agenda, or item 5.4.2, the draft 2023-24 Strathbogie Shire Council Budget, preparation of draft budget and draft fees and charges for exhibition and comment. Chief Financial Officer Strathbogie, may we have a summary of the report, please?
Thank you, Mayor, and through you, Mayor. In accordance with the requirement of the Section 94 of the Local Government Act 2020, Council has prepared the draft budget, fees and charges for financial year ending 30 June 2024. The draft budget and fees and charges have been developed in accordance with the 2020 Act, financial management principles, and in accordance with the Section 96(1)(a). The revenue and rating plan was prepared in 2021 under the new requirement introduced by the Section 93 of the 2020 Act. It should be noted that currently general rates, municipal charges, service rates, charges and special charges are to be declared under under Part 8 of the Local Government Act 1989. As these provisions have not been included in the 2020 Act. Community engagement already been undertaken to inform the preparation of the draft budget during the development of the council plan and pick my project submissions. It is proposed that further consideration is undertaken through a 28-day consultation period in accordance with the communication and engagement plan, whereby written submissions will be received and submitters provided with an opportunity to make a verbal submission to the council at a declared meeting to hear and consider budget submissions. To facilitate further engagement, eligible Pitch My Project submission will be uploaded into the Shire Strathbogie platform from 8th May to 31st May 2023 to enable community members to vote on their favorite pitches. Council will also use its Shire Strathbogie online engagement hub to seek budget feedback. It is proposed that written submission will need to be received by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the 31st May 2023, and be considered by Council at extraordinary Council meeting to be held on Tuesday, the 27th June 2023. There is a recommendation on this page 6 of this tonight agenda for Council consideration, and I present this report to the Council.
Thank you, Chief Financial Officer. Councillors, are there any questions of clarification of the officers or other officers here this evening regarding the draft budget, the draft fees and charges for exhibition and comment? Councillor Murray.
Thank you. Can I ask a general question about the Pitch My Project process that's currently underway, and if I can get some information about how the community engagement in that process is about to be undertaken. Thank you.
Yeah, Executive Officer Favalora, will hand this one to you, I believe.
Here's one that works. Thank you so much, Councillor Murray, and through you, Mayor. So the Pitch My Project process will go live from the 8th of May on our online engagement platform, which is www.share.strathbogie.vic.gov.au. And on there, we'll have all of the projects that have been, I suppose, deemed suitable to go out to public consultation through, in line with the guidelines. And we'll be asking the community to prioritise the projects, and that ensures that we can, get a really great understanding of the community's priorities, and also that we can make sure that it's fair and equitable right across the Shire. So that's going to happen online from the 8th of May, but we're also setting up survey stations in all townships throughout the Shire as well. And so there'll be hard copy surveys that people will be able to fill in, and we'll be able to collate them as well. Often we hear that people's preference isn't only online engagement. So we're obviously looking at ways to make sure that everyone can participate. So as I said, that will go live on the 8th of May and it will close off on the 31st. Of course, we will do an extensive communications campaign to go with that. So if people follow our social media, if they look at our ad in the local papers, our website, the Share Strathbogie page, our e-news, all of those things will contain more information once it's live.
Can I ask a subsequent question?
Certainly, Councillor Murray.
This is quite a bit of a change from what we've done previously in the Pitch My Project space. Previously, we've haven't had the sort of level of community engagement, perhaps that we're having this time. Can we be confident that the Pitch My Project projects that are successful in this particular round will be delivered in this financial year?
Yeah, we can. And part of the guidelines, through you, Mayor, Councillor Murray, were that the projects would be delivered by council and that they could be delivered and realised in the next 12 months. So all the projects that people and our community have put up meet those criteria.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murray. Are there any further questions of clarification regarding the draft budget? I just had one, and it was more, I guess, a comment and a reflection looking at our the 4-year financial plan that's part of our requirement under Local Government Act, noticing the drop-off in grants that we see in future years. We're looking quite healthy, and then we see that drop-off, and I do note your note 4.1.4 where there's a further explanation of the grants. Are you just able to explain a little bit further those projected figures, because I know that we, as a small rural shire, we rely quite heavily on our grant income.
Through you, Mayor. Yes, that's right, because when we do the budget, we normally include only the non-grants at the moment. There are 2 types of grants we get in from the other bodies of the government, with one for the recurrent nature of operating grants and the other one for the capital grants. But most of the time we have like a set number for the recurrent grant. We know that those programs runs more than 1 year, and those ones we identify based on their dates. And sometimes capital grants is hard to estimate because it's based on the projects, and sometimes depending on the time of the climate around there, because like this year, if you consider this year, we got more grants. Something for, especially for the flood recovery works, because they are one-off sort of a grant. And we had bigger projects earmarked for this year, like Nigambi foreshore walks, and we had 2.3 million grants for those ones, but they are not ongoing projects because next year we're not going to get those specific type of grants. And the other one is we getting what we call is general purpose grant, which is coming from Grants Commission Victoria, which is annual allocation. Every year we get that one, but this year we got 75% of advance payment from next year grant, which means we pretty much took up a grant as income in this financial forecast year, but you're not going to get that additional money in next year, which means we're going back to the normal allocation next year. Those are the variations in the grant income.
Thank you. Are there any further questions or clarification? Yes, Councillor Murray.
Thank you. Can I ask a question about the fees and charges schedule that's also up for adoption tonight? And can you enlighten us as to the average increase that might be found within those fees and charges?
Through you, Mayor. Thank you, thank you, Councillor Murray. Fees and charges on average increased by 3% throughout the budget. But there are some fees we collected on behalf of other agencies. They are not set by the council because sometimes they are set by other agencies. And those fees actually gone up by more than 3% because they are not set by us. And the other exception to the rule is there may be rounding because there is a smaller fee, because we normally round up or down depending on the cash denominator. And sometimes in that rounding make it go even higher or under the 3% mark. But on average, it's gone up by 3%.
Thank you, Officer. Are there any further questions of clarification on this item? No. Okay, councillors, can I have a motion, please? And can you state what your motion is? Councillor Hourigan.
Thanks, Mayor Binks. I'd like to move a motion, please, that we adopt the recommendation that's written on page 6 and also continues on to page 7 of our agenda.
Thank you, Councillor Hourigan. Is there a seconder for the motion? Councillor Murray. Thank you, Councillor Murray. Would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Hourigan?
Yes, please. So through you, Mayor, as you may already know, we have been working hard on creating a draft budget that reflects the needs and the priorities of our community. It's important to share with you some of the key highlights of this draft budget and to invite you to give us feedback so that we can continue to refine it and improve it. So one of the key things that we want to highlight is that we've set the overall increase to our rate cap at a 3% increase for this financial year. We are well aware that this may not be the most exciting news, but it's essential to keep our essential services and our infrastructure maintained. I'm happy to report, though, that we are well within the state government's rate cap limit, which is currently set at 3.5%. So this just shows how we are being responsible and mindful of our community's needs. One main goal of this budget is to maintain and improve our essential services and infrastructure while keeping costs under control. We recognise that we are living in uncertain times and we want to make sure that the community remains strong and resilient no matter what challenges we may face. To achieve this goal, we've allocated resources towards several key areas. First, we're investing in the repair of roads, bridges and culverts following the October 2022 flood event. We understand that these repairs are crucial to ensuring that our community can get around safely and efficiently, and we want to make sure that they are done right. Second, we're dedicating additional resources towards our operations team to support the road, culvert and drainage repairs and maintenance. So by investing in our infrastructure, we're ensuring that our community remains a great place to live, work and play. Third, we are looking at the traffic and parking management options at the Buckley Park precinct, Nagambie. We understand that traffic and parking can be challenging in this area, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to address the issues and to make it easier for everyone to get around. Fourth, we are funding a number of footpath projects and a review of our tracks and trails strategy to improve the connectivity and physical activity across the Shire. We recognise that walking and cycling are important parts of a healthy lifestyle, and we want to make sure that our community has access to safe and well-maintained paths and trails. Finally, we are continuing to invest in our streetscape improvement programs by beautifying our streets and our public spaces. We are creating a more inviting and attractive community that everyone can be proud of. Overall, this draft budget reflects our commitment to maintaining and improving our community's essential services and infrastructure while keeping costs under control. So I wanted to take this opportunity to invite you to provide us with your feedback on our draft budget. We want to ensure that we are meeting the needs of our community and that we are using your rate dollars in the most effective way possible. So if you have something that you wish to say, perhaps we missed the mark somewhere, or perhaps you want to show your support, then please make sure you reach out and let us know. We value your input and we want to work with you to create the best possible future for Strathbogie Shire. So thank you for your ongoing support of our community, and together we can achieve great things, and we're excited to embark on this draft budget journey with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Horrigan. Councillor Murray, would you like to speak to the motion?
Am I right?
Certainly, Councillor Murray. Would any councillor like to speak against the motion? Would any other councillor like to speak to the motion? Councillor Murray, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate what Councillor Horrigan had to say in many ways. But being mindful that budgets are a bit of a compromise between demands and supply, sort of what the demands are that we see, and the priorities that we see, and the supply in terms of the income, which Councillor Horrigan has said is 3% increase this year, and but not the 3.5 that other councils have decided to adopt. But we do need your input. This is an opportunity for 28 days for the community to have an input on what the priorities should be. We've had a go, and the officers have had their input, and it's time to turn it over to the community to give you a chance to talk to us about whether we've got it right and whether we haven't got it right, and what do you see as important, and so on. We've needed to respond to the circumstances as we've seen it, whether it's flood damages, a need to maintain our infrastructure and so on, but you might have other ideas of things that you would like included. So we have 28 days until the 31st of May, I think, to get some input, and I urge you to have a read and have a think about this budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murray. Would you like your right of reply, Crispy? No, thank you. Okay, councillors, I will put the motion to a vote. Can I get a show of hands for all those in favour, please? And against, and declare that carried. Thank you, councillors. So, councillors, that brings us to the closure of this meeting tonight, and the next monthly meeting of Strathbogie Shire Council is scheduled to be held on Tuesday the 16th of May 2023 here at the Aroa Community Conference Centre, commencing at 6 p.m. There being no further business, I declare that the meeting is closed at 6:23 p.m. Thank you and good evening.